I am the CEO and founder of a semantic behavioral targeting company called Semasio, and we basically are developing a new approach to behavioral targeting that uses semantic analysis technology. And we're going to see an example during the presentation of how exactly that works. However, what I want to talk about today is a new model for sharing data that doesn't actually involve sharing data. So this is what we've dubbed data and escrow. So what are we talking about? We're basically talking about a paradigm where data can be leveraged, it can be activated on a neutral platform without actually having to give it away to partners, thus facing the risk of data leakage. We're going to see a couple of examples of that. Is it a qualitatively new idea, as the title in German at least would have you believe? No, it's not. It dates back to at least 2008, my previous job at Wonderloop, where we developed something called target discovery. Nogad was heavily inspired by that in around 2010 and created something similar. We did it at Semasio the first time with a large German SSP in 2011, and our Swiss partner, Steiler Media, has been doing it since 2013 with their clients. And funnily enough, in the meantime between actually securing the speaking slot and now, a major new initiative has been released in Germany, eMetric, that actually aims to do the same thing, which of course took a little bit the wind out of my sails, but I like what the guys are doing, so it's not a big problem. So, let's examine a fairly common use case for data sharing, in this case a private marketplace, where you basically bundle inventory and data with the select partners. So let's assume, for instance, this is a publisher that has a publisher DMP. So basically we see the user moving to a specific page. This has been pre-categorized as automotive content. She then moves on to another page that's been pre-categorized as travel content. And then lastly, she logs in to a third property that we track on with this publisher DMP. And we get to know that she's female between 30 and 39. So now, via this publisher DMP, we have information on the user, and this information we now want to leverage in a private marketplace. So the user now moves to a property where we're showing ads. These ads have not been sold premium direct. Instead, they've been given to an SSP, a supply-side platform, that now bundles the data and the inventory over specific private deals to specific buy-side partners. For instance, the agency in this case gets the registration data, an advertiser is interested in users that have consumed a lot of travel content, and a trading desk basically is interested in people that have consumed content around the automotive sector. What is wrong with this picture if you don't have full trust in your partners? You've given the data away. You've basically transferred this data to your partners, and now it's beyond your control exactly what happens to this data. Now, many partners in the marketplace can be trusted, but with many of them, you're not really sure. Beyond that, you have also, via the publisher DMP, created a form of pre-packaging of the information that the user was consuming, which might not be exactly what the buy side needs. What if we flip the picture, basically, and look at the buy side? One of my friends visited me in Hamburg. He was running at that point in time the biggest travel sales platform in Denmark. And as he was saying, Kasper, I'm sending my CRM database out the door to 8 different parties every month. And I really don't like it. Is there something we can do about it? And I said, well, yes, but you're not going to like it because you'll have to deploy technology like mine, for instance. So what happens? Well, the user goes to a page, registers for a test drive in a small electric car, and now these advertising partners possess the data. They have the data, and we've had enough fiascos, we've had enough data calamities around that to know that this is a very real risk. So what is this data in escrow, and how does it actually change the dynamics of this particular scenario? Well, first we need the introduction of a neutral targeting platform. This neutral targeting platform could be eMetric, which is a very exciting German data pool, which will basically be, I think, the deepest and broadest user profile database in Germany, or on Semasio's platform, where we've been doing this, as you can hear, since 2011. So the first thing we do is we do the profiling a little bit differently. So as the user goes to a particular page, we don't actually pre-package the information through taxonomization like we did before, where we said this is definitively automotive content. Instead, what we do is we extract the most significant terms and phrases from the content without actually putting it into a category, and we then integrate that into the user's profile. Then the user moves on to a new page, we perform the same exercise, and we integrate that into the user's profile, which now keeps growing, basically containing the most significant terms and phrases that the user is consuming across these different pages. So now we have a different form of profile. This is not something that is necessarily required in order to do data in escrow, but it's just how we do it, and that's why I thought I would use that as an example. Now we flip to the other side of the market, the buy side. So what can they track? They are pretty careful about allowing too many pixels on their pages for obvious reasons, right? So in this case, we would actually be able to profile fairly sophisticated behavior on the site and see that the user lands on the site, starts to look at a small premium electric car, and actually signs up for a test drive in the car. So now on this neutral data platform, we've brought those two worlds together, but without ever giving the on-site behavior of the user on the advertiser's page to the publisher, and without ever giving the actual behavior and the actual information consumption that happened on the publisher to the advertiser. It happens in a neutral platform in the middle. So basically that means that the buy-side aspects, I think of this as an aspect of user behavior, can be combined with platform data. eMetric has a lot of data, we have a lot of data, other players have a lot of data, and then basically combined with the sell-side data. So you basically see different aspects of user behavior through the different perspectives that these different players have on user behavior. That means that we can deploy some fairly sophisticated modeling and actually only bring the data together at the moment of modeling, after which each owner of data basically possesses that data again, or they've done all the way through, but they don't actually give it away. So one example of this is what we call semantic twinning, where basically we look at the users that really do sign up for a test drive in a small premium electric car, and then we use all the available data we have on all the users in Germany to basically develop a model and basically score the entire German internet population as to their affinity towards a test drive in a small premium electric car. This enables us to basically give the user possibility to say how much of an affinity do I want towards a test drive before I actually want to buy the target audience. And with a simple slider, you basically choose which users you want, and now with the push of a button, you push it to the relevant systems where they are to be used. And the beauty of it is that you haven't given any data away, because the receiving parties have absolutely no idea why these users are valuable to you. It's a model that you created by bringing all the data together from the publisher side, from the advertiser side, and potentially the platform data. And that means that we have a paradigm basically for data sharing where we don't actually share data. We activate data, we leverage data, but we actually don't give data away. And this is what I mean by data in escrow, that we actually maximize the amount of data that we can leverage in our modeling, which increases the model quality and the marketing efficiency, but we do it without actually giving the data to other parties, which means that we eliminate the possibility of data leakage. And that, in all its simplicity, is data in escrow.